So everything so far, we haven't had any x's on both sides of the equal sign. We've only had x's on one side and then maybe some ones on both sides. Well, today, the only difference is we've got to now get all the x's to the same side or cancel out an x from the other side. So when they're exactly the same, so how would I write this equation? What do I have going on here? So 3x
equals 1x plus 8.
Bro, you literally copied my answer.
You literally wrote it down on my paper.
Okay.
You could have given it like.
So I've got x's on both sides. I need to get all the x's to the same side or cancel out x's. So in this problem, just like when we had ones on both sides that matched, right? From your scale, where we had the scales that are balancing, right? And if we knew that these were exactly the same on this side, we could cancel out three things exactly the same on the other side, right? And eliminate and know that they balanced each other out and canceled. Well, today is the same way, except for it's with the x tiles. So since that I've got an x on both sides, I know that those must balance each other out already, so I can eliminate those on both sides because I already know that they match and they equal each other. So that's why this right here is canceled out. So we subtracted an x from both sides to cancel an x out and left me with 2x on this other side. Did it change my ones any? Did it change the number of ones tiles that I had?
No.
No, it just changed my x's, right? It only affected my x's. So now that I know 2x's equal 8, what's my next step?
To
I'm just trying to write this so that it's the steps on here. Take away an x on both sides, and then, so how do we show that we are grouping them? If they're written like this, right, we can just draw that line between them.
X is 4.
So we're dividing 2x by 2, and we're dividing 8 by 2, so we're dividing on both sides.
4.
And we get x equals 4.
About you to.
So on this side right here, what is the top equation
You said what?
that I have there? What is the top one representing?
2x plus 1.
2x plus 1 equals 2 x plus
1 person at a time.
that.
What's on the other side? X plus 5? All positives? So if I had my scale, right, I can cancel out. So what did I do? What's the big X on those showing me?
Cancel out the x on the right side and the left on the
So I canceled one X out on both sides. So what happened next? What do I have left there?
x plus 1 equals 5.
Do I have my X all by itself? Or now we're down to the problems that we're used to seeing, right? This is where we were at yesterday, the day before. What do I need to do to get rid of this
Cancel
one
it out.
right
You
there?
can make doubles.
Cancel it out.
0 pair with me.
Okay, you can make 0 pair if you know they're exactly the same on both sides, right? We're taking 1 away from both sides. So then I'm left with 1x equals
4.
4.
And that's what this means, x.
And so all that they did here was, whoop, all that, oh my goodness,
What are you playing?
it's extra sensitive here.
Get off the shooting games.
Come on, quit.
Get on task.
All my, the only thing this work is showing is that it just lined up all 4 of them right in a row. So really, it didn't really do anything. Divided by 1.
So learn how to solve equations. So you're gonna use it all the way up to algebra 1 and algebra 2 geometry.
So yesterday, okay, we talked about how to do it algebraically without having to see the tile pictures. If you still need the tiles, draw the tiles. I'm not going to force you to keep using the tiles if that you can do it algebraically, because the goal is to get you to be able to do it in the algebraic steps and not have to use the tiles. Right? That's the ultimate goal, because it takes less space to use it algebraically. So up at the top, what did we have to do first?
Write it down.
Well, it's already written down for us.
Oh.
So what was the next step?
You do your 0 pair.
Got our 0 pair. So which x is bigger? They're both positive,
Right.
so I want to know which one's bigger.
On the right.
So this one's bigger,
So that'd be 3.
right? So I need to take away or cancel out the x's on the other side. I always want to cancel the smaller side out if they're the same sign. So that gave me a 0 pair here.
So that's 3.
So that canceled.
So we
My 1's didn't change, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So what's my new x on the other side?
7.
How many x's do I
equals
have?
3x.
3x. Did it change this 1?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so my 1's just dropped down. I didn't change them. The only thing I did was cancel out my x's on one side. And if I cancel them on one side, I have to do the same on the other. You have to keep them balanced. So now what do I need to cancel?
Wait. How did you draw?
What?
Cancel the 1.
I got to cancel the 1. And how am I going to make a 0 pair? What am I going to do with it?
With this. Put it with 7.
Okay.
We add 7. No, minus 7.
I've got to cancel it out on this side first. So how do I do that? How do I cancel? What do I have to do to cancel it or to make a 0 pair?
You put that 1 on the 7.
I've got to subtract it, right? I've got to 0 pair it out, so minus 1. Does that change my 3x?
No.
No, so it just comes down.
6 equals 3x.
6 equals 3x.
Each one will be 2.
So what operation did you do to figure that out?
Oh, 2 times 3.
Okay, so you did 2 times 3, or you divided by 3 on both sides?
I can't divide times 3.
Okay, well, you are dividing in your head. You're dividing in your head. You're just thinking of it as multiplication, which is what it is. It's the opposite of multiplication. So
How did you?
So x equals 2. Okay. So what's your question, Peyton? Where did you get lost?
I just started on 3.
Okay. That's fine.
Don't laugh at that.
No, I got lost. Like, where? How did you find? How did you know to, like, the x's?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
This one.
You wanna get everything, all
So-
the on the side and all the radius.
So how did we, so his question was, how do we know which x to cancel out?
Because if we were that over
Okay.
here, we end up with a negative, right?
So Ashton, take your hat off for me too. How do we know which x to cancel out?
So since this is a positive.
Which one? How do we know which side we want to cancel?
Oh,
That
the
gives
left
you a
side.
positive.
Each
We want to
side-
cancel
each
the
side you
smaller
take-
side,
Yeah,
right?
each side you
We
take
still
off.
have our
Or you
seven.
put on the other side.
So now
We
we're
want to
gonna
cancel
do
the small side.
seven,
So since
okay? So now
2x
we
was
can
smaller than 5x,
and three.
that's why that we picked the 2x to get rid of. Because we don't want negative x's, right?
So this is multiplication,
If we had
so that
put
would
it
be
the
a
other way, we would ended up with a
two
negative
by
x.
three here, and three
Can't
by
hear up in
six.
this hole.
Okay, just good. Okay. So, okay, so do number 4. Okay. So do number 4 on your own really quick. If you need to draw the algebra tiles, draw the algebra tiles. I'm going to go ahead and set it up with algebra tiles on this one since we did it algebraically on the other one. Okay, if you don't need the algebra tiles, don't draw the algebra tiles.
I thought we couldn't draw.
No, I said you can if you need to. So I'm doing this one with it. Okay, you don't have to. If you don't need to, you don't have to. But I'm going to do it with this one.
Brother,
So I've canceled 1 out from both sides because they matched. I can also do the same thing with these little ones, right? So what happens when I have 1x and nothing left on the other side? What does that mean?
That's your answer.
That is my answer. What represents over here? What number is this over
0.
here?
0.
Zero.
8.
Right? Nothing. We represent that with 0. So x equals
0.
0. So if everything cancels out on one side, that doesn't necessarily mean you did anything wrong.
From the brother who you did.
So by a show of hands, how many of you, okay, and no judgment because it's okay to prefer either way. I just want to know your preference. So how many of you prefer to do it like we did number 3? Okay. So raise your hand if you prefer to do it this way, like we did number 3 without the algebra tiles.
Number 3 or what?
This example problem.
4.
Okay. So how many of you prefer to do it with the algebra tiles?
Me.
Oh, y'all don't want to do it at all?
Okay.
I don't like the algebra tiles.
Well, you
Okay.
should raise your hand first.
So it's okay to want to use the algebra tiles. Okay. So right now, that's okay. That's what we're using. Eventually, we want to see it more and more this way. So I'm not going to keep making you draw the algebra tiles unless that's your preference. If that's your preference, then draw the algebra tiles. Okay. If it's not your preference, then you don't have to draw the algebra tiles. Does that make sense? Okay. Yes. Do you have a question, Peyton, or are you still voting?
I was going to ask you, 5 plus x equals 3.
Okay. Well,
I was going to see if the way I did it was right.
We're not there yet.
yeah, we're about to work it out, but I'm going to let everybody have a chance to work it out on their own first so we can check it. So
Gotta wait, baby.
I'm not going to tell you if that's right or wrong yet because we're going to work it out after everybody gets a
If two
chance to it.
volunteers go to the board.
Well, I want y'all to work it on your own papers first. Okay, work it on your own papers first.
I already did my head.
Yeah, come in, Jack, go good.
I want y'all to do it on your papers first. I'm glad you already did it in your head, but I still want you to do it on their paper first.
Then we can go through. Jack, you do fine like this.
You already have it? Yeah, it's not his level.
We done.
So I did it faster.
I did.
That's it.
I've already done page 9.
What?
I'm done, like,
How you done?
I'm done.
You don't need to be in this class.
No, no, I'm here, no go.
So did you go to Orange City?
No.
Or did you go?
I'm free.
On tree. You probably bad kids.
Sure, look at her. Look at her face.
Some boy. You need to get them. NBA champion.
About to.
Is 6x equals 2? Let's hope. Did you get on yet?
What?
6?
Great. How'd you get 1?
That's 4x.
And I'm like, man, I already did. I think I added 4 that I wasn't supposed to add.
Okay, yeah, because like that's 4x. And then if you have to subtract the 4 over here, 4 plus 4 is 8, so that's 4. So you have 4 equals 4x. You divide 4 by 4 and you get.
I calculated it. We don't over here.
You only just do
We don't.
I need some real.
Take-
I got a question.
but really,
You don't need to do it.
Take your hats and your hoods off, guys. Come on. You know the rules.
NBA tomboy.
What side
Did
would
we
you do
enter
this?
this in the Gmail?
Tom,
What?
what side would you do the times in?
Yeah.
Like up here? Like
No.
just run a little bit?
Yeah.
We weren't timesing anything.
That's what I'm
So,
Oh, yeah, this. Like I know what side you need to be like this.
right, well, so come back up here. So all the way at the top, which side had more on it? The 3 or the 1?
The-
So which one canceled all the way out when you canceled? The one with the less, right? Cancels all the way out. Right here. Look, right here, you only had 1x over here,
Oh,
and you had 3 over here. So when you cancel them out on both sides, because you're keeping your scale equal, which side are you going to have stuff left on? The one that had more or the one that had less?
I mean, more.
More, right? So down here at the bottom, okay, so down here at the bottom, when we were looking at the numbers, we still had more x's on this side. So which side's going to cancel completely out?
This side.
This side with the 2, because they're going to cancel completely out. So
I need to do it
that's
on-
why.
So I need to do it on this one.
So that you would want to cancel out this x because there's only one of them.
So I need to do 1 times 5x.
Not 1 times, because you're making a
One
0
divided by
pair.
5x.
You're making a 0 pair of that positive x.
1 divided by 5x.
Okay, hang on. So hang on, Logan. You know this. So hang on. I think you're just using the wrong word. Okay. So Logan, whoops, right here. Okay. This x, we're not dividing. We're making a 0 pair right now. We don't divide till the very last step. So right now, we need to 0 out this 1x. How am I going to 0 out a positive x?
Add a negative x.
And so then I'm going to do the same thing on this side to keep them equal, right? Oh,
So I need to add 1 positive x right here and then 1 positive x right here.
yes. And I don't know how you froze the screen. Nope, you froze it. I don't know what you.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I didn't freeze it on my end, but I'm not touching my board anymore, and my dot's still there.
Dang. Where?
Are you blind?
There it goes. Yep, you fixed it.
Hey.
1x.
But are you adding another positive x? Is that going to cancel out your positive x?
No.
But you got to add a
A negative x?
negative x, right? Zachary.
Now what I'll do.
Okay. So keep going. So what did you do? You zero paired that one side out, and then you've got a zero pair on the other side too. So what happens?
Now?
Not yet.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Do your zero pairs. Okay, then draw your boxes. It's okay.
That's pause it again.
Huh?
That's pause it again.
I don't know. Yep.
Oh, I actually hit it.
Okay, so erase what you have there. Logan, erase what you have there. That's okay.
Last year's math teacher, she was a pretty awesome teacher.
So let's draw the boxes then. So we've got 8 positive ones, right?
That's the worst math.
And we've got 1 X tile. And then on the other side, we've got 5 X tiles. Guys, we're not going to talk about other teachers. Pay attention to what we're doing here. Okay? So, all right, well, I'm going to draw, since I draw circles on the other side, I'm going to draw circles on this side too. Okay. So you told me that we need a 0 pair X tile here, right? To cancel this out. So I'm going to have to put one over here too. So what happens when I put a 0 pair X tile? These cancel.
One of these cancel?
And one of these cancel. So that's what you were doing by writing minus x or minus 1x and minus 1x. You're taking 1x away. Is that not what you did? Because now you've got 4 tiles here. Right? So we have 4x tiles on this side, and we still have our 4 ones. And we still have our 8 ones on this side. That didn't change by making 0 pairs for the x tiles, right?
So now I need to exit out these.
So no, because you don't have any x's left on this side. You need to x these over here out so that you have all your x's on one side and nothing but x's on one side. So how do I zero these 4 ones out?
Yeah. Positive. Negative.
Right? Which is -4, and then we got to do it over here on this side. So that makes these 4 all cancel out, right?
X equals 1.
So we've got 4 x's equals 4, right? So yes, x equals 1.
Does it work?
I remember when I used to think this stuff was like rocket science.
Okay, Logan. Okay, Zachary.
Let's go, guys.
Then minus it is 1.
Okay.
So 5 minus 1 is what? 4.
What's up, Cholo?
Today,
Cholo, what's up? Set a timer because if you go too long, you're
Okay.
gonna start fighting.
Logan, take the thing off your head.
Logan. What's 1 to 4?
You can take it up.
Okay, you have an assignment to work on. We've got this last example that Zach's doing for us, and you have an assignment to work on. I'm working on getting it into Go Formative. I don't have it in Go Formative yet, but it's getting there because we've got a few quarantined right now. So I'm working on getting them in there.
Get off this.
Oh. nations. And Jasmine got sent home, so she's technically quarantined until she gets cleared. I mean, that's what. So they're quarantined until they get cleared to come back.
You check on this one?
Jasmine never got
Is
sent
it
home.
Charles or not?
I got an email saying that.
Well, she was feeling sick the other day, but she never went home.
I got an email this morning,
Well, she went to the doctor today and she tested negative.
so maybe she'll be coming back.
So we have the 3X and 2X, the 3X and 6, right? So we're gonna have to get rid of this one.
I got it right.
Yep.
That's disrespectful.
That was 3X. This is a positive.
Raymond LeBron James.
Can I ask you if you can check
So let me finish these notes for everybody real quick since Zach erased his work. Okay, so
You want me to put it back up there?
now I'm gonna write it real quick so I have it for my notes on my board here. So negative 2x, because I'm subtracting 2 from both sides, 2x's. So I'm left with x plus 3. And then I've got to subtract my 3, 1, so I get my x by itself. So x equals 3.
I'm not doing that right now, that's not.
Okay.
So you're gonna write the X right here.